Hello, for any of you joining us today in creating your end of year presentation with PowerPoint. We will begin in a couple of minutes at 10 o'clock. Please make sure you are hearing sound. So if you've got speakers or headsets, make sure you're unmuted. You should be hearing some music in the background. And also make sure that you submit any of your questions to the live back channel at tinyurl.com/end of year press. This is the live back channel, and it's only going to be available during the live transmission. Please make sure you submit your questions to tinyurl.com/end of year press. End of year press is in capital letters, so make sure you go ahead and submit your questions during the live session. Also, make sure you are hearing sound. You should be hearing my voice, and you should be hearing the music in the background. We will start in about 3 minutes. So again, if you're joining us live, we're about to start here in about a minute. Make sure you're hearing music and my voice in the background. Turn up your speakers or your headset. Make sure you're not muted. And also join the back channel live chat at tinyurl.com/end of year press. End of year press is in capital letters. I will be looking at your questions towards the end of the session. In case you whatever questions you may have about creating your end of year presentation with PowerPoint. So make sure you go ahead and join that back channel chat. I want to welcome Sonia. Sonia Chang has been with me for these 2 sessions, and so I want to make sure that I say thank you for joining us, and anybody else who is here, join our back channel chat. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So my name is Jesus Morales, and I am an instructional technology specialist for the El Paso Independent School District. I work with people like Chris Sherman, Karen Bell Beer, Julie Rivas, John Roach, and so many other more people in our department, Active Learning Department. Instructional technology is a division of the Active Learning Department. So there is the link to the back channel live chat, tinyurl.com, end of year press. So make sure you have joined our back channel chat so that you can ask any questions that you have as I'm covering this material. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my screen. And I am looking up because I have 2 screens. So I want to make sure that I case you see me looking up, I have looking at one screen up here and one screen down here at the bottom. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to focus on two things at once. All right. So this is my screen right here, and I'm just make sure that I have that available for you. Here we go. All right, so you should be seeing these beautiful mountains here out in the middle of the ocean. This is one of the Catalina desktop backgrounds, which is I really like. So many of them. Mojave has a lot of good background desktops in case you wanted to switch yours. But I want to talk about PowerPoint. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is making sure that you have updated your PowerPoint. If you're using a managed district device, a MacBook Air, or a PC, whatever it is that you have that's managed by the district, if it's a newer edition, a newer release, newer model, then you should have the option to go to your Launchpad and then open up self-service. So Launchpad will either be the Launchpad icon with the rocket, or it'll be the F4 key, and in there you should find the self-service app. Go ahead and find PowerPoint within self-service and install or reinstall whatever it says on there to get the latest and greatest update. You should do that for any of the apps that you are currently using, whether it's Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Chrome, WebEx. You should go ahead and look for the latest and greatest update by clicking install. If it installs correctly, I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to work 100%. For a lot of you, it will. For some of you, I know there have been some issues. When you click install, sometimes it asks you for that admin password. If it does, they're probably out of licenses. So if you kindly send this ticket to them and say, look, I'm trying to update my Chrome by going to self-service and clicking on install, and it keeps asking me for an admin password. Can you please help me with this? More than likely, they're going to go in there and they're going to go to their Jamf program, and they're going to go ahead and add some more licenses to the managed system. So we do have a Jamf managed device management system that they will add more apps, and they will go ahead and that will allow you to install the latest updates. So keep an eye out for those. You know, if you feel your software is running a little slow, or it's acting up, freezing up, you probably need an update. Go to self-service and install those. And if you do get that horrible admin password little screen, username and password, go ahead and take a screenshot of that, send it to Sendesk and say, I'm trying to find the latest upgrade for Chrome or for PowerPoint or for Windows or Word or for whatever it is, WebEx, and I keep getting this window. Can you help me out? They will just go ahead and probably push out more licenses so that you won't have that issue anymore. So that's a little tip for any program that you want to update. So before we even get into PowerPoint, I'm going to show you a website that I've found that you can download some really cool templates for Keynotes, well, for PowerPoint, for Google Slides, but also for Keynote, because the nice thing about Keynote, it will open up any PowerPoint templates. So you can download it for PowerPoint, but when you can open it in Keynote, and it will open up in Keynote as well. I'll talk to you about Keynote at 11 o'clock. But let me go ahead and head on over to this website. It is called slidesmania.com. Just the way it is right there, slidesmania.com. And it takes you to this free themes, templates, resources, and how-tos for Google Slides and PowerPoint. Now, this is free for now. It is free. It's a great website. It really is if you're looking for themes and templates. I've gone in there and downloaded a bunch of them just because it's so good. I don't know how long it's going to stay free. You know how that goes. So get in there. If you're really looking for some really cool themes and templates, go to this website, download as many as you like so that they're yours. And if this website ever goes, paid membership kind of deal, then you have those templates that you liked already. Okay. So there's a lot of there's quite a few categories here. And, you start off by browsing and then choosing and then downloading. Pretty simple, right? 3 simple steps. So we can click see all the templates down here at the bottom, or we can click a category. And obviously I'm going to click education first. So I'm going to click the education category. And again, a lot of good templates here. There's a Lego one. There is looks like a guitar pick one. There is puzzle shaped one, I guess. There is a fair, like a like a summer fair or a fall fair or something where you get your tickets. Choice boards, you name it. There's one that I really like, and it's not showing up right now. So I'm going to go to page 2. There's 22 pages worth of templates here. So you can imagine a ton of templates. Today's activities, you could run your whole online on PowerPoint or Keynote or Google using these great templates. So the one I like is this one that says virtual graduation. We are doing our end of year awards. Not necessarily a graduation, although pre-K, if you're wanting to do something at the end, you could do a graduation. Secondary 6th through 8th usually has awards assemblies, whereas high school doesn't have as many awards assemblies. They have a graduation at the end of the year, but you could use this in your classroom if you're watching from a secondary, if you're a secondary teacher, whether it's middle school or high school. So let's say I want this one. This is the one I want. I'm going to click virtual graduation. I'm going to click on the title to open it. And it gives me the preview of the slides. So it's got white slides, and those white slides have awards, so certificates. Then it's got darker slides, and then it's got like a chalkboard effect slide. So it's got those different types of slides. So these are the 4 templates, the 4 sets. The white, the chalkboard, the dark black, and then the light yellow. So it's got those 4 sets. So those are 4 students right there. I'm going to show you how to duplicate those so that you have, if you have 10 students, 15 students, 22 students, or 35 students, you can add them all in there. So at the end, at the bottom, all you have to do is either get the Google Slides if you're using Google, and I'm not going to cover using Google, but if you know how to do that, you can definitely do that. But I'm going to show you how to download. I'm just going to show you how to download to PowerPoint. So I'm going to download to PowerPoint, but I'm going to save this in a special location. I do have a folder for my end of year pictures and stuff, so I'm going to save it there. So when I click on download, it's going to ask me, hey, where do you want to put it? And I do have a 1C, 1D folder where all my pictures for this end of year celebration are going to be at. And I'm going to save it there, and I'm going to call it, well, I'm just going to call it what it is because I'm going to save it as a template inside of PowerPoint. So here we go. I'm going to save. I do have another copy of this, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that copy. All right. So now I've downloaded it. It's down here at the bottom. I'm in Chrome. I could open it up from there, and it's going to open up in PowerPoint, or I can open up my folder and find it inside that desktop folder that I saved it in. I was going to open it up from Chrome because it's just so much faster. So here we go. So PowerPoint's going to open up, and it's going to open up with this specific slideshow, this template. So here's my template. Looks pretty neat, doesn't it? I love it. It looks really nice. So there's a couple of things I can do. First of all, I might want to save this as a PowerPoint template so that when I open up PowerPoint, I can always find this. So that I don't have to go search in the folder or try and find it, or if I delete the folder and then I've lost it, then I have to go back to Slides Mania and open it up. So I'm going to go to File up here where it says PowerPoint, and then I'm going to save as a template. Okay, when I do that, it's going to be in my template. So there is a template folder for PowerPoint. I'm going to go ahead and save it as the virtual end of year awards. I've already done this before, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that. It's going to say, do I want to replace it? Yes, I do. You can see it. It's down here, down there at the bottom. I'm going to replace it. And now it's a template so that when I open up PowerPoint next year, I'm just going to click save. It'll be okay. When I open up PowerPoint next year and I go File, Open, or when I open PowerPoint, it takes me to this window no, not that one, sorry. File New, not File Open. File New from Template. Then it shows me, more than likely it'll start here at Featured Templates, but if I go to Personal, I will have the end of year or the virtual graduation from Sites Mania that I can go to. Okay, so I can open that up, and every time I open up a template, it opens up a new copy, so I don't have to worry about delete, having to duplicate or save and then create another copy. It always gives me a new copy when I open it up from the templates. So actually, this is what I want to do. I want to go ahead. Well, I can keep this one. I usually would make a file save as a new copy, but I'm going to go ahead and keep this one because I've created a template already. The only thing I might do is change my title. Now with the new Office, you can click on the title and change it. So 2019, 2020, 1C, 1D, whoever you are. I was dual language back in the day. End of year presentation. Okay, so a couple of things in this slide. Everything. I'm going to grant access for some reason. Here it goes. Everything is editable in these templates. Everything. Okay, I'll try later. I'll save it. I'll file save as. Everything is editable. So if I don't want to say graduate, if I want to say you are a champion, okay, I can definitely put champion. Okay. And then the month, I can change that. May 22nd, 2020. Or whenever your presentation is going to be. If it's going to be on the 21st, because that's the last day you're going to be meeting with your students on Thursday, then that's great. So everything here is editable. The only thing you can't get rid of is the watermark where it says Slide Mania. Not watermark, but this title right here. It's part of the background. So that's okay. I'm promoting them. They're a great website. Hopefully, again, I hope they stay free. But everything else is editable. You can even remove the little graduation hat if you want to. I'm going to raise it up a little bit so you can see the C. You can remove the diploma picture if you wanted to as well. But I like it. If you want to say graduates, that's fine. I used to graduate my students in first grade as well. So I know it's a big no-no, but it's up to you. Now, the second side is the first student. And you did it. Okay, so I can actually move these. So I'm going to move these to the top here. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this slide, this little text box, and paste it. So all I did was, right click, copy, and then paste. Right click, paste, or Command V. So I want to use this as the title, the name of the student. So I'm going to say Roberto Duran. Okay, and I'm going to change the image in the background. There's two images here. There's the image frame, and then there's the image. But I want to change this one. This is the one I want to change, and I double clicked. Sorry, should have single clicked. I can right click, and I can change the picture right here. So I'm going to go from a file. I have my files. I have my images on my computer. So there I am in my 1C, 1D folder inside of my desktop. And I'm going to find the first image. And I'm going to bring this guy in right here. And I can actually crop this. So if you don't know how to crop, once I select the image, so if I click out, I can select the image. It brings me into picture format. And I have my crop button right here. So when I click it, I can actually crop, which will zoom in to my student. It'll do a bigger image of my student. Okay, so, all right. So now, I'm going to move this back as close as I can. I'm going to grab this image right here. And then I'm going to expand. All right. Just like that. I'm going to close this window right here. So now I have a bigger image of my student, Roberto Duran. That is not his name, but that's just what I'm using. That's my first student. The nice thing about this template, it comes with awards. So again, I can change the title, say perfect attendance. Okay, and then I can put the name, Roberto Duran. Okay, and I can move this. I can move this above the line. Just like that. And I can add whatever the title of this award is, and I misspelled perfect. Perfect. So, if you have a copy of that, then you can go ahead and type in whatever the perfect award description is. And again, I want to change my month, so it'll be May 21st, 2020. And again, the diploma is edible. I can remove it. I think no, these crayons are part of the background, so no, those aren't. But everything else pretty much is. So that's my first award. Notice on the left side, it has 3 awards, and that's fine. If I needed to add or delete, I just select one and delete it, or I can go ahead and select one and right-click and duplicate so that I have 4. Normally, I only give out 2. 3 for somebody that won a perfect attendance trophy or a citizenship trophy or a medal, then that would be a 3rd award. But you can definitely go ahead and edit these awards. And then you go on to the next student who will have a white background. And again, you can change that to "You are a champion." I would go ahead and change the date. Pretty simple like that. I'm going to check the channel. Make sure there are no questions. Seems like there are no questions right now. If you haven't submitted or gone into the channel, tinyurl.com/end-of-year-press is the back channel chat in case you want to ask any questions. So that's pretty much it. Now, this is only for students. I have 22 students. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to go ahead and grab the first set. I'm going to click on 1 and then shift and click on 6. And I'm going to go ahead and copy, right-click copy or Command-C. And I'm going to go to the bottom right before the last slide. So I'm going to click on slide 17 and Command-V paste. And so now I've added another student. And if I needed to do this, 22 times, if I needed 22 separate sets, then I go ahead and go to the next one, number 7. Click it, shift-click on number 11, right-click copy. Go to the last one or the next to last one and paste. And then I would have the next set and so on and so forth. And you can have as many sets as you need for the number of students that you have. So that's a pretty easy way to go ahead and create duplicates of these sets. And you just have to change names and all that great stuff. Okay. Now, when you play this, if you're doing this live, maybe you want to insert a slide before that. You want to insert a new slide. And I'm going to move this guy up. And maybe it's going to be like your mascot. So maybe that's the starting slide. Or I could just click new slide right here and select one of the slides that are here. Maybe I want it to be dark instead of white. And then I'm going to add the mascot picture. I have a mascot picture for my previous campus. So I'm going to insert a picture from my file, and down here at the bottom, there it is. There's my mascot picture, and I can go ahead and make that a little bigger. That's centered right there, or I can bring it down so it doesn't cover the stars. There we go. So that's my welcome to the 2019-2020 1C 1D end of year award ceremony. Okay, so that could be my starting slide so that I'm talking and sorry about that. I had somebody knock at my door. I am at home, so stuff happens. So that's my setup. One of the other things you can insert is a nice music background. And I'm going to show you a website. It's YouTube Audio Library. So I'm going to open up a new window here. And when I go to Tech Tools, I'm going to go to the Audio Library in YouTube. youtube.com/audio library/music. Okay, if you type all that and you're logged into your YouTube account, and it doesn't have to be your personal, it can be your school account. You can use your EPISD email for your Google sign in, and it'll take you to the YouTube library. There is a lot of good free music here, royalty free. For the most part, all of this music is, you don't even have to cite it. You're just free to use it. Some of these do say that you just, mention them in the credits. So, and I did that at the beginning slide where I used one of their musics and I mentioned them. But either way, you listen to the music that you like. And you can select by genre, so it can be classical, it can be cinematic, whatever you like. It can be, I can try and type something like graduation and see what comes up. So there is some music here that comes up. I've actually selected a song already, which I'm going to use here. But once you find the song you like, all you have to do is click download, and it's going to download it as an MP4. So it's going to download it as an MP3, sorry. It's going to download it as an MP3, probably put it in the file, the folder that you have your images in, which is something that I have done. And then I can click save. And, if it says something like, yeah, you can use it, but just mention me in your credits, please copy whatever it says there and mention them at the end slide. Music from blah, blah, or the beginning slide. Music from Jesus Morales, YouTube, whatever it says on here. It'll actually have a description on there for you to use. There's also sound effects. So if you wanted to find some clapping for each award, each student. Oh, sorry. If I could spell. There's some crowd cheering. That's a little crazy. And so there's some clapping there. Probably not what you want, but maybe. That's a little cheer. You can find some stuff like that as well. Okay, so here we go. I found some music that I'm going to be using in my live presentation. All right, so how do I insert that music? I'm going to click insert, and I'm going to go down, I'm going to go over here to audio, and I'm going to do it from file. And down here at the bottom, somewhere down here, I have my file. I'm going to go to list view here. Let me check my questions, my back channel here. I haven't checked it in a while. Okay. I do have a song down here. I think it's this one. I'm going to press space to listen. Make sure it's the right one. Yeah, that's the one. Or it could be this one. Doesn't matter which one I use. It's one of those two. I'm not going to use the Hurt So Good Blues. I'm going to use Just Stay. And I'm going to insert this song. And it's going to go on my beginning slide because I want it to start off as soon as I start my presentation. I'm just going to move this over here to the side. Now, when I select my song, up here at the top I have Playback. I want to select Playback. And I want to do a couple of things. I want to probably lower my volume to medium or low so that it doesn't overpower my speaking when I'm doing this live presentation. I also want it to start automatically, and I want it to play across slides. So as I'm switching slides, the music's not going to be interrupted. It's just going to keep going. And since this song's not very long, it's probably going to take me 30 minutes or more to do my presentation, my end of year awards. I want it to loop until it's stopped. So it's just going to start all over every time it finishes. Plus, I want to hide this icon. I don't want this icon to be visible when I'm presenting, so I'm going to go ahead and hide during the show. All right? So when I play, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to go ahead and play this presentation. There's the music. And all I have to do is press return of the space bar to move to the next slide. All right, so our first champion, our first student for the 2019-2020 award ceremony is Roberto Duran. You did it. You have finished first grade and you're moving on to second grade. And here are your awards. You have perfect attendance. And perfect attendance means you were here from the beginning every day, all the way to the end, even through this virtual class period. And so thank you so much, Roberto, for attending every class. You also received the Greatest Artist Award and so on and so forth. Whatever it is the awards are, I'm just clicking the space bar, and moving on. The music's in the background now. It might be a little loud. So again, I can go ahead and go to that first slide, click on the music icon, playback up here at the top, and change to low. All right, I can change that to low, so when I play it back, it's not so loud. So I'm on full speaker here, and it's not so loud. Medium might be okay because remember, they're listening in through your speakers anyways, but that is something that you'll decide if you want low, medium, or high as your sound. So far so good. We created our presentation, and I've added some things like yes, the background, and I'll come back to that, Brenda. I've added some text. I've changed the text on things that I needed to change and added names and stuff like that. Transitions. If you want some cute, you guys know how to do transitions and animations. If you want some neat transitions, and you can definitely select the different transition effects that you will have when switching over. So I think you know how to do that. And if you're doing this live, definitely do this on mouse click, so that when you, not mouse necessarily, but at least the space bar, that's what I use to transition. I don't use a mouse or a trackpad. I use the space bar to transition over, okay? Animations, again, if you wanted to animate something like the polar bear and I wanted to give it a specific animation, I can definitely do that, okay? So you can do that if you like. Otherwise, you can select none, I believe. So that's the animation side right there. Now, if you wanted to create a movie instead of doing a live presentation, you would have to prep. You'd have to prep all your slides, add all the students and their names, and change whatever it is you wanted to change, okay? And then you can go ahead and record a slideshow. The other thing you can do is you want to time this out. You want to see how long this is going to take, because I only have 30 minutes. Although on that last day, if you spend an hour with your class, or if you spend 45 minutes, I'm sure the parents are going to be very grateful that you did this for them. So I wouldn't worry about rehearsal, but if you wanted to rehearse the timing, you could do so. As long as you got your script and stuff, or you have it in your mind, you can click rehearse timing, and it will go into a live presentation. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2019-2020 end of year celebration. Okay, and so you go through all your sites, and once you do that, it will actually tell you, and I'm going to bring it up here, how long it was. So the total time for your slideshow was 12 seconds. Are you okay with that? I'm going to say no, because obviously that's not my whole presentation, but it'll tell you that. If you record the show, it'll play the narrations, it'll use your timing, so it'll show media control. The only thing I will not do is it will not save the music, which is kind of odd. It won't save the music. It'll save it for in Keynote, and I'll show you how that works, but when I do that in PowerPoint, for some reason, the music won't save. So if I click record, it's going to start, and it's recording right now. So, hello, welcome to our presentation, blah, blah, blah. Our first student, who is a champion, who's finished our first grade, is Roberto Duran. Thank you for being a great student and being with us throughout the whole year. Your awards are perfect attendance. Perfect attendance means that you were here in school, in class, from day one back in August 21st to the end of this year, even through these virtual classes. Thank you so much, Roberto, for being here every single day. Okay, so when I stop that, it's going to tell me that my slideshow was 35 seconds. I'm going to say yes. So it shows me a different view here, which is the slide sorter. Down here at the bottom, there's the different views. That's slide sorter. This is the normal view. And then this one's the presentation view. So slide sorter shows me the amount of time that I spent recording or transitioning between each slide. So that's my time that I spent. Now, if I wanted to save this as a movie, I can go File, Export, and it starts off as a PDF file format, but if I go ahead, that's the preset. But if I select this menu bar, I can select MP4 or MOV. MP4 is better quality than MOV, but it is the larger file. So it's up to you which one you want. I like MP4. I can always upload it to YouTube in case it doesn't fit in Schoology, or I can put it in Microsoft Stream and embed it from there as well. So that's my recording. I'm going to use the recording timing and narrations, and I'm going to export this movie as my 1C, 1D, end of year movie. So I changed the title, same folder, so I know where it's at. I'm going to go ahead and export. Down here at the bottom, it's going to show rendering of that movie, and I'll show you what that plays like. But I'm going to go back to the normal view. Okay. So you can insert videos as well. So if you your presentation is going to be long enough already. So I don't know if you want to insert any more stuff in here besides the pictures that you already have and the awards. But you could insert online things, things from online like video. If I wanted to, I could have a little online movie, and it would actually have me search for a movie, or actually type in or copy paste a URL if I found some really cute movie. Maybe for the beginning slide, that if I created that Animoto movie, I could definitely grab that link, that URL, and paste it in there, and it should play that Animoto movie. Okay, so if you saw my Animoto movie presentation, I showed you how to grab that Animoto link for that movie, that link to that movie that you created in Animoto. So you can definitely do that. There's a lot of, I know you all know PowerPoint. The big question is, where did I grab the templates? Okay, so let me show you that. While that movie is rendering, the template was, I got it from a website called slidesmania.com, and it is a free website. Just as I'm waiting for this movie to render, it is a free website, and it's free now. So, and it's been free. I learned about this in February during, I went to TCA in Austin. We were fortunate enough to go to TCA in Austin, Texas, the Texas Computer and Education Agency Association. Forget what it is. But we went to TCA, and let me go to the bottom, and this is a new site. It says 2020, so somebody just created this, and it's new. It's by educators for educators. It's new. It's free. I don't know how long it's going to stay free, because somebody has to pay for this, the time, the effort, and everything else. I hope it stays for free for a very long time, but you know how it's been. Stuff, people find out, or they need to make money somehow. Hopefully they have great sponsors, but sometimes they have a free version and then a paid version, which is free version, watered down, paid version with better choices. Right now it's free, and all you have to do is find a template, and it can be a template for PowerPoint, for Keynote, or for Google Slides. And I say Keynote because Keynote opens up PowerPoint templates, which is really cool. It doesn't work the other way around. PowerPoint does not open Keynote templates. So just so you know, you can open PowerPoint templates in Keynote. I'm going to go to Education, and that's where I showed everybody at the beginning. I go to Education, and I find the template that I like. Okay, the template that I like was actually on the second page, but you can see there's some really cool templates here. There's choice boards templates, and there's 22 pages of education templates, which is pretty neat. And it even has special requests. So if I wanted a special request, it says here sometimes to receive emails or messages through Twitter with special requests. He can't promise anything, because he does have another job, but he will once he gets the time if you wanted a special type of template like this this Lego template. I'm sure somebody who works with Legos or robotics or something like that probably requested something like that. Okay, so On the second page, the template that I'm actually using is on the second page, and it's called Virtual Graduation and End of Year Awards using Google or PowerPoint. So that's the one I grabbed. You click on the title, and at the bottom it shows you the different slides that it's using. It's loading. So here it is. Here's the four different styles of slides that it uses in that presentation, and at the bottom there is the download for Google Slides theme, and there is the download for PowerPoint. And again, if I download as a PowerPoint, I can open it up in Keynote, and that'll be my 11 o'clock, how to use the same presentation in Keynote, the same template, but then how to do other things in Keynote as well to create your presentation. Okay, so this is for right now for PowerPoint, but that's how you download it, and you can save that as a template inside of PowerPoint. Okay, so just so you know, you can actually do that. Slidesmania.com, great website. I hope it stays free for forever and ever. So here we go. My movie's still downloading. I should have a movie already, so I think I already have a movie. So I'm just going to open up that folder. And it's in my desktop, and it's the one Mr. Morales 1C1D Pictures. Make sure I have that movie down here. I lied, I don't have it. I must have deleted it. No, here it is. Okay. Oh no, it's still loading. Okay, we'll wait a little bit. If you have any questions as I'm doing this, just to show you, this is the last thing I want to show you is what the movie looks like. And the sad part is that it doesn't integrate the music that I've selected during my presentation, which is kind of sad. It doesn't record the music into the movie, at least not in PowerPoint, but it does in Keynote, which I'm going to show you. And if you saw the film festival last week, I used movies from that YouTube library, the audio library in YouTube, for different transitions into different awards and cheering and stuff like that. I grabbed from YouTube to embed into my movies. So in Keynote, I was able to produce these movies so that I could do a live transition of movies during our award ceremony for the film festival. Okay. Any questions so far? I think I've answered the background presentation. If you haven't done so, you can submit your questions. Go to that back channel, tinyurl.com/end-of-year-press. It's done. So I'm going to go, and it's a big movie. It's 106 megabytes. So it's a little bigger. It's not a big movie. It's just a little bigger than what will be allowed in Schoology. Schoology movies are actually going down in size. Good. Awesome. Schoology will only allow up to 100 megabytes, but if it's bigger than 100 megabytes, you can put it in Microsoft Stream and grab the embed code from there, or you can put it up in YouTube. And you do have a YouTube channel, by the way, if you didn't know. If you log in into Google or YouTube as yourself, then with your EPIST email, you should have a YouTube channel, just so you know that, okay? So the movie's rendered. I'm going to go ahead and open it so you can hear it. It'll open up in QuickTime. It's going to open up down here at the bottom. I'm going to bring it up. And here it goes. Let's listen to see if it plays the sound. Notice here is the icon, the icon that I don't want to show, and I selected not show. So when I have the movie, it's a clean movie. It doesn't show that icon. So here we go. Oh, the music came through. It wasn't doing it yesterday. Excellent. So I liked. Who is a champion who's finished our first grade is Roberto Duran. Thank you for being a great student and being with us throughout the whole year. So there's the recording. Those are the recordings and transitions that I had when I practiced my timing. So it recorded all of that, and it has the music embedded into it. Well, it has a limit for recording your voice. Good question. Because you could, so that would be one thing. Obviously, if I'm going to create a movie, I have to record my voice. Okay, so is there a limit? I don't think there is, but it'll make your file larger. So when I click on the file, if I wanted to create an audio, which in this case is just the movie, the song, actually, and actually it created this one too. It's going to start. Okay, I'm going to delete that one. But if I wanted to record some audio, I can go up here to Insert, click on the slide I want, Insert Audio, and then I'm going to click Record. I believe it does not have a time limit. That's a very good question, Sonia. So I can just click Record. Welcome, everybody, to our 2019-2020 end of year celebration. This is class 1C, 1D, and I am Mr. Morales, your teacher. And I can stop and I can call this whatever I want. It's going to save it within PowerPoint. It's not going to put it anywhere else, but I could say intro clip. And then click Insert. Then I have to do the same thing. I have to do the audio settings over here in Playback. I probably want to play this in high volume, not play across slides, but automatically start, and I want to hide it during the show. So those are the three things I want to do for audio, for recordings. For the music file, I selected play across slides, loop until stopped, automatically, and hide during show. So I did a little bit more, and I think I selected low. As far as the sound is concerned, I think low is still good, even if you're going to do a recording. As you heard, it was actually much better, so you could hear my voice, and the music was in the background. So now I have my recording, my music, sorry, and I also have my recording. Welcome, everybody, to our 29. So I hope that answered your question. I don't think there is a limit. I believe there is no limit on that. I mean, you're not going to speak for more than 30, 40 seconds as you're going through each slide. I think 30 would be a lot of speaking. Unless, at the beginning, maybe here, I might put in, a little speech or something where it could last up to 30, 45 seconds. But for the rest of these slides, it's going to go pretty fast. And the next student is blah, blah, blah. Congratulations, Juanito. You did a great job. You received these awards. And it's going to flow pretty fast. So it's not something that's going to flow slowly. You're gonna record a lot. Okay, so that's pretty much it for creating your end of year presentation with PowerPoint. There's a lot of tools in PowerPoint. There's design, but in the design, I don't have to grab design because I grabbed that template from Mania. But again, you can play with transitions and animations. You can practice your timing, rehearse your timing, or you can record the whole slideshow, so you don't have to speak. You can only do, you do it once, you record it, and then you press play, and it just does it for you automatically. As you press the space bar, the next recording will start, so on and so forth. So you can do this with recordings, or you can do this live, however you wish. All right, so this recording should be saved in YouTube. That same link you used to get in here. Once I stop this recording, then you should be seeing the same, you should be seeing the recording. Once I stop this presentation, the streaming, you should be seeing the recording under that same link. So if you wanted to watch this because you missed something, you can definitely go back and watch it. And you can definitely share this with any of your colleagues that are interested or stuck in how do I do this end of year presentation type thing. Okay. If there are no more questions, I'm going to give you about 5 more minutes. I'll mute myself and check the back channel for any questions. That's pretty much it here for PowerPoint. The next session at 11 o'clock, I will focus on Keynote. The question here, I have a question that came in through my text. Is this better than iMovie? iMovie is a great product. You can do so much in iMovie. You can really do a lot in iMovie. One of the things I didn't show you, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was talking, you can add text. You can add captioning in iMovie that you might need to do in case you have family members, parents, students that are part of our deaf ed community that need the captioning. iMovie will do that, but PowerPoint also does that. Microsoft has a lot of accessibility features that are embedded right into the presentation. I'm going to show you this really quick as your questions are coming in. Very good question. iMovie is a great product, and we have computers, we have MacBooks. It's a little bit more challenging. That's a big learning curve in iMovie, but once you get it, it's a great product. It really is. If you were going to create a movie, it's a great product. If I'm going to create a live presentation, I can do it live right here from PowerPoint or from Keynote, which I'll talk about in the next session. So it really is up to you. If you're creating a movie, iMovie is great. I'm using a product called Camtasia, which is something that our department paid for some of us. I wanted it, and that's what I use to create my movies and add all sorts of other things to my movies. But you can definitely do the same stuff in iMovie. It is a learning curve for iMovie. So if you've never used iMovie, right now is not a good time to start using iMovie. Definitely learn about it in the summer. I hope we hold some sessions this summer on iMovie. But PowerPoint, I think all of you know PowerPoint, so that might be a better thing to use. But one of the things I said is captioning, live captioning, before I close this out. Especially our special ed community, our deaf ed community. When I go to slideshow and it's embedded, that's why I say make sure you update PowerPoint. Go to self-service and update PowerPoint so you have the latest and greatest version of PowerPoint. One of the things that I can do, and that's up here at the top, always use subtitles, okay? No matter if it's recorded or if I'm talking into the microphone, whatever voice is coming out, as long as it's nice and clear, it will show the subtitles. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. I'm going to stay quiet because there's actually some recording here. I'm going to go ahead and play it through my speakers. It should pick it up and it should go ahead and show the subtitles. So when I say always use subtitles and I click play, it's going to leave a space at the bottom, about a quarter of the screen at the bottom for subtitles. Watch this. Welcome everybody to our 2019-2020 end of year celebration. This is class 1C, 1D, and I am Mr. Morales, your teacher. Our first student who is a champion who's finished is Roberto Duran. Thank you. So I have very choppy transitions there, but you saw the really neat thing that it did. It went ahead, it was listening for my recording, my voice, and it said listening down in the bottom right corner. You probably caught that. And as soon as the recording, my voice recorder started playing, the captioning started to come out. Now, if you speak really fast, it's going to have a hard time. So you might want to slow it down as you're presenting so that it picks up on the captioning. So if your students, your family members are part of that deaf ed community, special ed community that needs those captionings, I love captioning. I'm the kind of guy, and my daughter and my son, my wife hates captioning. I'm the kind of guy that goes and turns on captions on TV while I'm watching a show, not a live show, but like a movie or a recorded show. I go ahead and turn on the captions. I like reading the captions as I'm listening and watching. So somehow my brain can do all three of them. My daughter does the same thing. My son does the same thing. My wife hates captioning. So, to each his own, but for some reason I love it. And so even when I was a teacher, if it had captioning, even in first grade, especially in first grade, I would turn on the captioning so that the students can hear and see the words. In this case, we're talking about end of year presentation for maybe a family member who is hard of hearing or cannot hear, they're deaf, then definitely this is something that I can turn on in PowerPoint. This is not something I can turn on in Keynote. There's no accessibility feature like that in Keynote, but it is available in PowerPoint. Don't forget, if you don't need it, then turn it off, because it will always go into that subtitle mode every time you play from start. So it's a new embedded feature into PowerPoint and many other programs that Microsoft has to offer nowadays. So I'm glad it's there. And it's available for all of us. All right, so it is 10:50. I hope you got something out of this. I hope, if anything, maybe you already knew how to do the PowerPoint, you knew how to do the transitions, but you found, Slides Mania to be a really cool site to grab some of those templates, and you found that the YouTube audio library with the free music and free sound effects is somewhere that I can go to find some music that is not that is not copyrighted. So remember, we want to show our kids digital citizenship and how to be good digital citizens. This is a great place to go to download some of that free, non-copyrighted music. Again, if the author wants you, the creator wants you to cite them, it will say when you open it up. And wish I had some. Sometimes, and not all of them, but I've seen some. And there's a specific guy that I know does this, and it's his or her right to do so. So I think we should honor them and say, you know what, even if they don't, I'd like to honor them in my caption, in my slides as well. This comes from YouTube Audio Library, Lost in Prayer by Doug Maxwell. I go ahead and do that. I'm not finding any right now, but there are some that do say, hey, you know what, it's okay, you can use my song, but you know what, mention me in your presentation, your video, whatever it is that you're using it in. The John F. Kennedy inaugural speech, if you ever need to do that, it's right there for you. So let me check one more time. I'm checking text, and could you please send us a template you're using, please? You know what? I'll put it in the email. I'll send a mass email to I only have my feeder pattern, so I'll send a mass email and I'll share the template, but it's free. Slidesmania.com. You can definitely go in there and click on education. This one right now, it was in the first page yesterday, days before. Even yesterday was in the first page, but if you go down to the bottom, you click page 2. It'll be on page 2. It's the first one on page 2. They just added some up at the top, but I will definitely share that in my feeder pattern email for all of you that are asking. Thank you so much for joining me. We will see you back at 11 o'clock. I'm going to start at 10:55 with the intro slide, but I'll start the presentation on Keynote at 11 o'clock.